We're back, baby. We're back to work on the ZUMA, the new PREBUG stunt build. This bad boy right here. We did the seat cover last time, the bars, the stem, and in this video we got a few more things to do. If you've been following along with the build, I had a cylinder with the casting fall in it, it had a crack in it, it wouldn't seal, massive air leak. This is why you pressure check your engine. Saved for me trying to run this engine, running into huge issues, potentially blowing the motor. Got a new cylinder, had to get it reported again because I reported this one before I realized it was cracked. So now it's time to reseal it on there and pressure check this engine once and for all. What I'm gonna do is pretty much clean up all this because there's still some Honda Bond residue on here, seal it down, and then I'll let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow we'll pressure check it. Give it a long time drying up. Boys, I'm super excited to announce something right now, that this 12 bar is now live on the website at MOPBOYZ.com on the website. Link in the description down below. As always, this 12 bar that I have had in the making and testing for possibly a year now on my Zumas. A lot has gone into these. I actually have a whole big video in the background of us going out, kind of testing the final copy of them, talking more, explaining more about them. I'm just going to go over this really quickly because I don't want to base this video around this, and the possibility that by the time you're watching this, these are probably going to be sold out because the inventory I have is just a few right now. I think that they will be sold out probably as soon as they drop, but don't be worried because within the next couple weeks I will be announcing the next drop for these. For sick. Titanium scrape plate, recessed in, removable, so if you wear it down you can obviously replace it. I will have the option to buy it without the scrape plate, but then you are risking wearing down the actual structure of the bar itself, which is not replaceable unless you want to cut it off and weld it yourself. The round tube design, foot loop here with a gusseted dimple plate, everything 100% TIG welded. They're just beautiful. Like, this is something that you can clear cut and throw on the back of your bike as an accessory, and also for the use of stunting. This thing is just a beautiful rack. Perfect degree foot placement for when your knees on the seat and you can stand up on this. This is actually the third bar, actually the fourth model of the bar we made. As you see, first gen, second gen, and then we ended up actually making a third one, which I have for this bike here, which actually the final copy was the dimple plate. As you saw, the other models except for this model did not have the dimple plate. Like I said, I'll go over this all in another video. Also, as you saw in the newer intro, we have new stuff on the site in general. We have my favorite, the garage slides, which are a must in the garage, and ski masks because I've got a lot of requests for things like that. So there will be clothes dropping soon as well, but that's gonna do it. Now we're gonna get into the video. Sorry, I just had to like put this in because it's gonna be like overlapping with the time of when they drop, and then I haven't really fully announced it. It's kind of a confusing area right now. So I've got it all cleaned up. Got the base gasket all cleaned up, got the actual cases all cleaned up, and then it's as simple as that. We're going to grab our Honda Bond, and well, let's go round two, boys. I'm going to throw it all together. Cylinders on and all pretty and smooth in there. Got our two-stroke oil. She's happy in there. Well, boys, I went ahead and slapped her all together because we've had to do it 3 times now. It's the third time. Third time's the charm, right? So it's all sealed up, letting it all dry now. As you can see, I pretty much got the whole pressure checker ready to go. So tomorrow, when it's dried up, come back out here, hook up the pump to it, put some air in it, and I don't know why I said pressure checker. Leak down tester. Alright, it's the next day. We got our little spray, and I actually already did this. I'm acting like I didn't, but I got too curious right off the bat. And so we go ahead and just pump it up a couple times. We only need 6 PSI in there to really check the pressure of these engines. So if it holds 6 PSI, it's good, right? Oh, well, it just dropped because I didn't take that off in time. So as you can see, it's slowly going down. Right? Not good. Well, I panicked. I went around spraying every crease. Sprayed everywhere on the whole entire thing. And then my ass totally forgot I didn't tighten the spark plug down. So it's always, you know, but it's still good to do these air leak tests. But as you can see, look at all those bubbles coming up right there. So good trick when you're doing this, you know, water and soap will usually give away all your issues. Alright, boys, so it's probably been maybe 20, probably 30, probably more like 30 minutes, honestly. And it probably went down maybe 1 line, maybe not even. So, boys, we're good. We got a few more parts on the way. But other than that, boys, she's ready to go. Went to the local all hose shop and got a custom brake line made for this. I just wanted it black. I wanted flat black fittings, but they didn't have it, so chrome was the next bet. Black with the fittings looks pretty clean, so bought a new brake line. Brake lines are so expensive. The NCY one's like 75 bucks, I think. This one was like 55 when I got it made at the shop. Next, we're gonna go ahead and cut the plastic for the JDM tail. So if you don't know, so this is what a stock tail light on a ZUMA looks like. It's your rack, and then it has the big bulky tail light with the blinkers. At least this is USDM stock. This is what comes in America. I think the ones in the boosters and everything like that in different countries come with the tail light like that, just like how it is on the Elites. America standards, big old blinkers poking out, and then you get the JDM tail. But for the pre-bug, you have to actually cut it. So, luckily enough, it comes with the perfect trim out, cutout line that you have to cut. All right, we're gonna take this little Dremel and just all the way around, pop that bad boy out, and then we'll be able to put our tail light in there. Literally, when I went to go cut the plastic piece, my Dremel right here just would not turn on. I ordered one on Amazon Prime, same day shipping. We already got it in, boys. We got a way nicer one, and we're about to go through this plastic 100 times easier than it probably would have anyways. All right, she's all trimmed out now. Hit it with the little like sander part of the Dremel as well to get it all cleaned up. So now it's all cleaned up in here. And that's how we're looking now, boys. Nice. She's fitting in there real good. Once I tighten everything down, it'll smush together even a little bit better. So why we have the engine out and it's all air leak tested, everything checks out good. We got a new part to throw on, boys. We got a little spice to throw on the engine. We got ourselves a Polini gear cover. So this one, way nicer, has additional bearings in the case. As you see, we got some needle bearings in here, ball bearing here. So I already drained all the gear oil out of this, so we don't have to worry about that. We're just gonna pop this cover off, slide this one off, slide this one in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be changing the gears on this bike yet. The goal for this PREBUG ZUMA build is just a really fun wheelie bike, and it's going to be based around like stunting. So I really kind of want light gearing in it, but I don't know if I would like to just up gear just a little bit. There's a few up gear options, so maybe that might be something in the future, but for now I'm just going to keep the stock gears. We can always do that stuff later. So we're going to go ahead and swap this out. Alright, so as you see, here's the stock one. Just literally machined out casing. Here we have a needle bearing. This is something I kind of want to do with the F12 as well. So we might be doing that in the near future, but why not do it with the new build? So banged out the shaft itself. Now we get to pop it in the new one, use a little oil, make sure that seal stays good, and throw it all together, boys. Sheesh, boys, she's in there. Spinning free as can be. We just got the last and final design of the scrape bar. So that's what she's finalizing. I think I'm going to keep this dimple plate on because now you can run grip tape. We'll talk more about that in a video. But now it's time to get some of these parts off to powder coating. Alright, it's time to get back to work on the pre-bug. We're going to be picking up the parts from powder coat here in just a little bit. But we got a few more pieces to the puzzle. We got some goodies in here. Scooter swap shop, little fanny pack piece. Tight. Some goodies. We got a quick throttle. I didn't even want the quick throttle. I like the stock throttle. But I just didn't want to have the stock throttle on here with all the extra wires, kill switch in the starter, and this is just so much cleaner. Color to it, we got little shiny red goodies for the F12 piece, fresh brake cable for the Zuma. Why not? If we're going this far into it, you know, get her all freshened up. We got a malossi coil, spark wire, like boot, if you will, and we got brand new front bearings for the front wheel once you pick it up from powder coat. We got some more grips, the new handlebars we got because I really like these grips when I found them for the F12. They're like just really thin feeling. They don't feel all fat. I hate like how these NCY ones feel super fat. I like them so much I went ahead and ordered 3 pairs to replace pretty much all my grips on my bikes that I don't like. And for the new one too. So we're all set now. Alright, stator's all in there. Now we just gotta line the keyway up with this bad boy. Just like so. So although on the Zuma, the stock one, you can't really pull this coil wire out, I got the malossi ignition coil set thing because it was cheap, and it comes with the actual spark plug boot that gets the good, I can't even get it off, it goes on with the whole nipple. And if you know, you know that the ones with the threads usually wear through sometimes on the threads, plugs all loose or maybe it pops off. That's happened to me on so many bikes now, it's actually kind of crazy. So I decided I wanted to go with the boot that fit the actual full spark plug with the tip on it. So boys, we just picked up the fresh pieces from powder coat. We're going to get a first look at it with black. We went with a nice satin black just to kind of tie everything in. As you see up here, we got the nice flat satin black type of deal. So I thought it would match really good with this bike. I wanted to do a really simple clean build. I wanted to pretty much just have the plastics as the colors, and I wanted everything else just to look very simple and clean. So we went ahead and did a lot of the pieces. We got our brake caliper right here in pieces. That's going to look super good. We're going to slowly go through and unwrap everything. Mostly I'm excited to see what the scrape bar looks like in black. Just the cleanest and simplest color we could have went with, satin black. Just so clean. It just makes everything look like just clean. It almost looks like it's factory done. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. It's going to be a very clean, subtle bike. I am so stoked to see what this looks like. The blue is going to pop super hard with all just everything black accents. Fresh on it. Fresh old kicker case. Love the satin. I'm very stoked to start throwing this together. So, going to go ahead and throw my tie scrape plate on, which we've already scraped. Back on the 12 bar. I want to see what the 12 bar looks like on here with the satin black. Get an idea of how it's all going to be put together. And we'll get all this out of the way until we get to building. Alright, just getting a little look at what this satin black is going to look like on this bike. I think it's going to be so clean. Got the motor mostly dialed in. It's pretty much ready to run, the motor itself, but we're still waiting on a few parts. So just threw the tire on the front wheel. So we're sitting in there. Nice pretty. Got some brand new bearings in her as well. So she's real fresh. Got the brand new tire on. Shinko, kind of like the Michelin Reggae tires. I was going to go with more of a street tire on this bike, but then I was like, a lot of the times we ride on like trails and bike paths and stuff like that, so it's always good to, you know, have somewhat of a good, decent all-terrain. Went ahead and put together my kicker case with everything in there. I have another kicker that's on back order right now, but that'll be going on here. It's pretty much the exact same one that's on the F12. I'll go ahead and change out these little fancy little bolts we have for the F12 on the side because the red's a little different. I hate that, but it looks like it might still be okay. So we're going to go ahead and swap all those with just some fanciness, see if it looks a little better. F12, always improving, always looking better. That just spiced her up pretty good. I thought the reds are going to be really off, but they actually don't look too bad at all. So it's a little darker, but it doesn't look too bad at all. So a little more flare without overdoing it. I love the side cover on this one, the Polini one. I was hesitant to powder coat the wheels to begin with because they were already black. But looking at my old wheel, I'm so glad I did. Because like I said, it's like cloudy. Like, although this isn't the cleanest wheel, I can also obviously go through and clean it. But as you can tell, it has like a cloudy film to it. And these are just like true satin black. And this is like a shiny metallic. But they look so good. Got the rubbers thrown on the wheels, so now they're completely ready to go. I went ahead and painted the fan black. As you can see, it's usually like a gray color. Used some trim and bumper paint, which is like my favorite style of paint for stuff like this. Plastic pieces especially. I use it on like the innards of my plastics when I have to like restore them to kind of look stock. It's like a really smooth, kind of like a satin, not really like a gloss, like a real true plastic look to it. Rather than, you know, spray painting it black and it coming out like really mirrory in some spots and then like peeling in some others. This just looks like it's almost like just black plastic. She's fresh. I also got an OEM shock bushing coming in too. That's another reason I don't want to throw the motor in yet, because we still have to do that and it'd be so much easier to do it without the motor in. So we're gonna wait on that as well. First little peep, I guess you would say. I just had the wheel like sitting in there, but just with the murdered out look to it, it's looking pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. Engine's pretty much ready. I threw the kicker case on earlier just to get a look at it, but we're still waiting on some pieces. Most importantly, swapping this before I go ahead and put it in. But we got our shock here now ready. Also black, as you can tell. Would you be surprised? And other than that, we're gonna be waiting on parts for the next probably 2 weeks. So that's going to do it for the Zuma build for now. Make sure you guys smash this like button. I'm very stoked on this build, and it's coming together so nicely. Can't wait to see what this beast looks like. That's going to do it. I'll see you guys in the next one.